Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you're looking for a Father's Day gift idea, Disney has one for you. You can buy the Acolyte soundtrack now.
With the power of two.
With the power of two. For some reason, Disney thought it was a good idea to send an email blast out last night telling you to buy your father the Acolyte soundtrack.
And they use the power of two as the teaser.
Yeah, and they actually have a song. They have a song based on the witch orgy.
Right. So to clarify for those who don't understand what we're talking about, they have these new witches. I forget in the article I explained what their name is. I don't remember off the top of my head because I really don't care. Brendock witches. And they have a whole scene where they just chant this: the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. And then that's how they get knocked up because there are a bunch of women and they don't need no man. So for Father's Day, give your father that song because, you know, it makes total sense when you have a bunch of women getting knocked up to each other with the force. The rapey force, then, you know, there's no man involved. So
maybe your dad's
there's no
into
father
it.
For Father's Day.
Maybe your dad's into watching that. You know, maybe just don't let mom know. We'll talk about this. This is just another indication that Disney does not know who their audience actually is. They do not know.
I just can't believe. I mean, it's like you're already insulting people. You have the media out there, your actors out there, your showrunners out there calling it using misogyny and throwing that word out constantly. Toxic male audience, men suck, force is female, men suck, blah blah blah. I had to say it twice because they. And then you're like, for Father's Day, buy our shit.
Father's Day, buy our shit. Buy this pop song, which makes no damn sense in Star Wars. Buy it for your dad, even though we've had the people behind the show saying that they effectively hate men.
However, I want to point out, though, do you see something else going on here? Here's the soundtrack online that you can go use to do things like on TikTok. Yep. And this song, like we had the soundtrack with the song with the Gremlins or whatever and Doctor Who.
Yeah, they sent an email blast out for that too.
Don't you see a pattern here?
Yep. TikTok this shit. So we're going to talk about this shit. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
And happy early Father's Day. I don't think most dads out there are going to want the Acolyte soundtrack for Father's Day. But, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe some of them might.
Some of them might, yeah. So I saw this, I saw it yesterday, and we're going to talk about it just again, this is just another indication that Disney does not know who their audience is for Star Wars. And we'll talk about the numbers again, about who the audience for Star Wars actually is. And they sent this email blast out last night about fell out of my chair.
Yeah, he comes into the bedroom, he's laughing, and he's like, oh my gosh. Well, you said about the soundtrack, but at the time you didn't hear about the dad part, the Father's Day part, did you?
No, I'm like, wait, they have a pop song. First, I was like, they have a pop song and the Acolyte, but they basically took the witch orgy and turned it into a pop song.
Right. Well, that's and then you're like, then this morning you're like, wait, it gets better. They advertised it and told everybody to buy it for Father's Day.
Buy it for Father's Day, Disney. This is the official Disney email blast. We got huge releases this Father's Day weekend. Check out the impactful.
How is it in the impactful?
Power of Two single, because you get pregnant when you listen to it.
Well, don't let me listen to it. I'm done having kids.
Check out the impactful Power of Two single for Lucasfilm's The Acolyte. Maybe they're hoping that dads are going to make more kids to this song. And do not miss Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2 in theaters now.
Well, you just said, though. So they get pregnant from a lesbian orgy with the Force, and you're like, a bunch of dads are going to go use the song to have sex to get women pregnant with, which would be hilarious because that's complete slap in the face to what it is. So let me recommend, if you buy this song, use it for your sex song.
It sounds.
Don't knock up your wife, your girlfriend, whatever.
No, it sounds like a makeout song. I'm not kidding. I listened to part of it.
No one listens to that.
No, it's actually a pop song. It starts with the witch orgy, but then it's actually a pop song. But it sounds like a makeout song.
You listen to it?
I listened to because they have it on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube.
I don't want to listen to it.
And people were in the comments like, oh my God, why is there a pop song in Star Wars? I'm like, that's a good question. The only pop song I want is Lapty Neck.
Hey, I don't.
From Lapty Neck. Lapty Neck from Cy Stoodles in the Max Reboot Band.
That's not, no.
It is a pop song. It's the best, but
Okay,
that's
it's
the
a
only
pop
song that
song,
belongs
but-
in Star Wars. I don't like the special edition song.
Sorry, I was confused. I thought you said it was a makeout song. I'm sorry. I was
No,
really
Lock D
worried.
Neck is not a makeout song. It could
still-
be.
I'm still worried.
Yub Nub could be a makeout song too.
There were some people. I'm still worried
Yub
about
Nub.
if I listen to this song, then I might get pregnant.
Put your mouth on my chub, chub, chub. Rub nub. I'm gonna get some. Happy Father's Day.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Anyway. Okay.
So there we go.
I can't. Anyway.
But no, this is like a pop song. This is like a top 40 like on freaking Star Wars. That makes as much sense as like having Celine Dion do the theme to the next Star Wars movie. We're gonna give them ideas.
I can't. I'm sorry. Just the whole I'm gonna get some part. Just anyway.
That's what I want for Father's Day. You know, you give your dad a makeout. So maybe that's what they're thinking. But you know.
This is what you said. It's like a National Lampoon's line. Give your dad a makeout song for Father's Day. Oh no!
It's the male jelly of the month
This is a cursed
club.
episode. Anyway,
This is a cursed episode. This is just like, look, this is the most tone deaf, boneheaded email blast.
So many tone deaf, but right.
I mean, I don't get, because look, we already said the audience for Star Wars is mostly male.
And it
right?
wasn't us who said it. It was the rap.
It
was
rap.
through demographic tracking.
Parrot Analytics came out and said that the audience for Star Wars is made up of 70% men over 30.
Well, they said too, like, I mean, Marvel is predominantly male too, but you do get some that cross over that are more more popular with women. Two of them because they were back in the days when they were good, when they were female focused. One because it was Loki and they had the hots for him for some reason. But Star Wars is far, 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 more male than female. Like, it's way more men than women, and it's mostly people over 30. So what's their answer? This is what we saw Doctor Who too. Let's go after the under 30 crowd and women.
Women.
Because that's a demographic we're missing. But the thing is, to do that, I mean, I'm sure there are ways that you could have done it that would have worked and would have kept all your audience. But no, you can't do that. You have to go the most ham-fisted pander route possible, and then you'll be like, we lost the audience that pays for shit. It's like, well, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, so, I mean, this is, people are digging this up from last year, Leslie Headland, talking about the misogyny and the patriarchy in Star Wars, and it's very clear from just the one episode I watched that, I mean, again, we had this utopian lesbian society where the lesbians can get each other pregnant with the Force, and then the mean old bad male Jedi come in, and
it was just Jedi. Jedi is the church.
The Jedi are the church.
It's the Spanish Inquisition. The Jedi don't like the way that the witches are using the Force, and they show up to stop them. Because how dare you? How
very dare you have relations with each other? Have Force relations.
The allegory is just in your face, ridiculously obvious.
Yeah, it is. It is very on the nose because they're even like the witches are even like a lot of the galaxy fears us. They don't like our kind. It's like, you mean witches, right? Yeah, sure, witches. Yeah, they don't like witches. Why should the Jedi get all the power? So there's this whole like. Because now everybody's like gloating about, Anakin's not special anymore because they got the twins down there. Yeah, because that's the point, right? Because I think people behind the show probably found the Skywalkers to be problematic. We had these super powerful, chosen, blonde hair, blue eyed
the actual Skywalkers, not the ones that just decide they're Skywalker.
And yeah, it's so weird because I was reading the Colin Trevorrow treatment for episode 9, which was infinitely better than what we got. But yeah, Rey was never supposed to be a Skywalker. She was never supposed to be a Palpatine. She wasn't even supposed to have the name. Actually, her last name was supposed to be Solara or something like that. And then she was just some rando. That made a lot more sense, but whatever. But yeah, so they're like, look, they want to deconstruct Star Wars. They want to push the men out. They want to push George Lucas out. They want to push the Skywalkers out because they're problematic, privileged, because again, we have I'm based on what we've seen. We've got two blonde-haired, blue-eyed men that are ridiculously overpowered in the Force. They're the chosen ones. It is a bloodline, a paternal bloodline, because they always ask who the father is. You know, even Qui-Gon asked about Anakin, who's his father. So it's a paternal bloodline. So that's problematic. And they're chosen ones, and they're royalty on top of that. Then you've got the chosen one knocking up the queen, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got the royal blood. So all of these things current year are incredibly problematic. A chosen one.
No, you're okay with chosen one as long as you're the right kind of chosen.
Right. Yeah, but you've got privilege, you've got power, privilege, a paternal bloodline. And all these things are problematic, so they have to deconstruct it. So they have to be like, oh yeah, well actually these lesbian witches came up with the whole idea of being able to get each other pregnant, and then the men took it from them or something. That's probably where they're going to go with it. But yeah, and this.
But happy Father's Day!
Happy Father's Day, everybody! Buy the soundtrack to this god awful show. So this is what Leslie hasn't said. We'll go back. We didn't actually cover this. It's just so arrogant. It's so arrogant because who the fuck are you to come in?
Well, no, I thought it was funny. I did put it on Twitter. She was like, and then I got a book by what's that guy's name again? Oh, Ralph McQuarrie. And
what's that guy's name again?
Yeah, something like that. No, she said that. And then she's like Ralph McQuarrie, and she's like, yeah, Ralph McQuarrie is actually the one who made Star Wars look like Star Wars.
Made it look like Star Wars,
like, yeah. Dumbass.
God.
Way to prove that you are not a fan. Let me guess, all the movies are your favorite? Yeah, that's what you said. Because anybody who's been a Star Wars fan for years knows that Ralph McQuarrie was the one who kind of gave it the look that it had and kind of kept with some of the ideas behind it. Everybody knows that. You didn't do that. Oh, damn, I just discovered something.
So
Really, Leslie?
True story. Had I gone to art school like I was supposed to, Ralph McQuarrie would have been one of my teachers.
Mm-hmm. And I was bummed you didn't.
Yeah,
I would
actually
love to hear
very
those
bummed.
stories.
He was actually teaching at the Academy of Art in San Francisco, and he would have been teaching the year that I was supposed to go. I actually was accepted, enrolled, and life happened. But yeah, he would have been there, and that would have been amazing to have him as an instructor. But yeah, she just figured it.
Yeah, she said she figured it out.
She just figured it out. Yeah, so this is what she said. She said this is this is from 2 years ago. So she said this back when they started the show.
Yeah, this is from a while back.
Yeah, this is like what we understand to be Star Wars, the idea that that only came from George Lucas. That only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars is just untrue.
It doesn't matter that he's the one that came up with it. It's his thing, you know.
And I think the prequels are an excellent example of that.
I know, right? I thought that was funny.
What?
That doesn't make, because I'm like, does someone tell her who did the prequels?
Yeah, but
Does someone want to tell her?
So, I mean, is it true that a lot of fans hated the prequels? Yes, it's true. But it's weird. It didn't actually start out that way. I remember I was on the Force.net back then. I don't even know if that site's still around, but I was on, in the forums when the Phantom Menace dropped. And opening weekend, a lot of people thought it was pretty okay. They said it wasn't the best, but they said it was pretty good. Some people thought it was great. A lot of people were just happy that we had Star Wars again. Mm-hmm. So, there was that. But then, a lot of people were like, hey, we had the Zahn books. They could have just done those instead of the prequels. They should have. But,
well, at least the sequels.
Yeah.
Well, wait, it gets better. And the idea that like, when you're hiring a director, that everyone is sitting in there waiting for George Lucas and not for the person who's going to know to hire Ralph McQuarrie.
Who do you think hired?
Yeah, I know, but beyond that, so you're all in the way. You're all waiting to see who the director is to go for what dude they're going to hire to make Star Wars. That's basically what she just said.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the misogyny. Both of them are dudes, and the problem with the utter myth that it stands today, because they are not thinking this is the person that will hire the right people, and this is the person that will be able to create the books and direct people to get them to the. This is doesn't even make sense. You're just thinking, do you have all the answers? And the truth is that nobody does. Anybody who says they do is lying. She just said a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
She's basically talking in circles. They're looking to see who has the answers. They're not looking to see who's going to hire the right guy to do this. So how is that misogyny? They're two men. And you're talking about hiring a dude. So basically your misogyny is because they're men? So thank God a woman's here to fix it, right?
So she admits
it's going tits up. So there you go.
Going tits up. She admits that the Jedi are a problem. She said that basically, concept of religion is an oppressive one.
Especially for people like myself.
There's a huge red flag for a number of reasons. First off, the Jedi Order are a practicing religion, and obviously they made some mistakes, the members of which can be tempted to and fall to the dark side. But the core of the religion and its beliefs are what empower Luke to still believe that his father has good within him. It's religion of the Jedi Order and Luke's faith in it that does indeed redeem Darth Vader. The religion is the opposite of oppressive. So it's like, yeah, she clearly, like, look, it was very...
It's a self-insert.
It was very obvious, you know, and again, I didn't watch the first 2 episodes. I only watched episode 3 to have a good chuckle. And
I don't watch any of it.
And to see what all the fuss was about. So I watched it and it was like, it's very obvious. She views the Jedi as being problematic. They are the church. They came to take away the children from the lesbians, and they're angry that the lesbian witches are practicing the Force without their permission. And that's very, very clear. That is what was going on. And it was just silly. It was just a very silly. But again, back to the point. Obviously, the showrunner has a problem with dudes being in charge. Obviously, Disney seems to think that if they can only get more women to like Star Wars.
They're trying to go for the 30 and under and women. And that's what they're doing with
Just like Doctor Who.
And look what's happening. Because you're a predominantly male, over 30 audience. That doesn't mean that there aren't people of different ages, different genders that also like it. I'm not saying that's the case. But predominantly, it leans, skews male, older male.
Yes.
That's just the way it is. That's just the facts. And they're trying to get it underneath. They're trying to get like these women and under 30s in there any way they can. And so they're doing stuff like putting these stupid, dumbass songs in it. They're trying to think, okay, if we make it, all like LGBTQ plus, that all the kids are going to be, all about it because we're going to put it on TikTok. And it's not like TikTok isn't ground zero for, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or anything like that. So they're just desperately trying to get this other audience. The problem is it's not working. And when they do get it, they're just going to rip the song off for free and make memes about it. But they're just going to count that as engagement, even though they're not buying anything, even though they're not subscribing to Disney Plus. They're probably using their parents' subscription. So they're not gaining anything from it. And like you point out, each of these episodes cost like twice what Godzilla -1 costs. And that movie was amazing.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 was amazing. I don't know where the budget went because I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks budget cut. Like I thought Boba Fett looked cheap, but this looked cheap. I mean, maybe they're saving all the money for some big space battle I'm not seeing, but like this particular episode, it was just a lot of sets that looked like an episode of like Star Trek Next Generation, right? Which I love Star Trek Next Generation, but I'm just saying, like they had a couple of indoor sets, and then they had, they were just kind of running around in fields and stuff. I wasn't seeing where the money was spent, but who knows?
I had these numbers. Now, these are a little bit different than what numbers you're seeing. When this came out, Disney was claiming it was like, they keep saying it's their biggest debut in 2024. But when you look at it, they did like 11 million on the first episode or whatever in the first few days. But you compare it to Ahsoka. Ahsoka did, I want to say, 14 million.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka, which you can see was middling on the views to begin with, did better than the Acolyte. So by the, I think these are Nielsen numbers and timestamps. They went by this Jedi Temple Archives did it. Go back down. These are what they came up with. They said Mando season 3 was probably 23.51 million views. Obi-Wan Kenobi 11.27 million views. Book of Boba Fett 10.33 million. Ahsoka 8.55. Acolyte 6.8 million estimate. And Andor was 5.42 million in the first episodes.
Second worst.
Yeah.
So what gets me about this too, though, to go back to Doctor Who, they were ecstatic that they got 5.5 million views in the span of a month.
Yes. Now you see what they get overnight.
Yeah. Right. So I'm saying that's not good, not for the amount of money. And actually, Doctor Who, the bits I saw of the new season look more expensive than the Star Wars shows, to be fair. And who knows? But yeah, the numbers aren't good. And I think they were like contractually obligated to go through with this thing, but I would have canceled it. I would have been like, I
agree. But the thing is, at this point in time, they're afraid. I think, given the person as a showrunner, given the way that they had it leaked in Variety and everything else, and they're trying to leverage. If you don't go along with it, we're going to scream you're against women and LGBTQ plus people. And that's exactly what they were going to do. And I guarantee they canceled it. That's what she would have done.
As Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, it'd be real shame if some skeletons got out, Bob. If you know what I'm saying, like
I don't know, but yeah,
who knows? But I guarantee you, she knows more than she's letting on.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I guarantee, what I can guarantee you is if they had canceled it, they'd be screaming.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're against women. You're against,
Willow.
LGBTQ plus representation.
Look at Willow. They not only canceled Willow, but they buried Willow. They like completely.
Well, they were smart. They buried this one.
Yeah, they took it off the platform. They delisted it. I don't know if it's considered canon or not now, but they got rid of it completely. And I love it how the writer's like, well, we're still holding out hope for another season. And I'm like, bitch, please. You don't even get to keep the first season on Disney Plus.
The Rotten Tomatoes score, which I mean, yeah, again, take it or leave it, because I think it's being voted down and voted up. That was yesterday.
It's like 15 now.
Is it 15? Okay, it's at 16. So this is like what, tied with Ewoks cartoon now?
Yeah, the Ewoks cartoon show.
Except there's 10,000 plus ratings on this one. The Ewoks had like, less than 50.
The power of many.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, so I don't know, guys. Good luck with that. I mean, it's again. Am I angry? No, I'm not angry. I just think it's ridiculous that Disney thinks this is you think your Star Wars audience wants a pop song to go along with their lesbian witch orgy power hour
for
show.
Father's Day.
For Father's Day. For Father's Day.
Let's play the song.
You are lost.
Yeah, let's play the song from the witch tribe or whatever you want to call them that literally has no men, and these kids have no dads. So for Father's Day, celebrate dads by playing the song representing a group without dads. I'm like, how fucking dumb. The comments are glorious, but how fucking dumb do you have to be to think this was a good idea?
Grumza, disown them. Mean bastards. Does Disney think all dads are gay? What father wants this? Take a beloved franchise, update it for a modern audience, tell original audience they don't like it, don't watch it. Original audience follows instructions, franchise fails, call the original audience racist, biggest instaphobes. Yeah, it happens time and time again. Good luck. I just think it's tone deaf. I think it's just Disney. This is it. Disney doesn't want the audience they have. They're trying to manipulate the audience like the midichlorians to turn the audience into something else. They want to turn their audience into chicks. That's what they want, because chicks buy stuff.
But the audience already had a lot of women in it.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's what I don't understand. And a lot of people that like Star Wars weren't white and straight and male. But they just keep tripling down on the stupidity, and then they call it the racist men, or the toxic men, or the misogynistic men that are like, ruining Star Wars. It's like, no, they're not the ones ruining Star Wars.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. We're going to wrap this up. This went way longer than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things to unpack here. When Disney realizes what their audience actually is for all this stuff, they will be more successful. But I think that whoever's in charge of marketing, whoever's coming to them and saying, hey, Star Wars would be great if we just get rid of, 95% of the audience.
Star Wars would be great if we got rid of 95% of what made it Star Wars.
Yeah. We turn it into something else. It's just lesbian space princesses or some shit. Good luck with that. I'm out. I've been out for a while.
Well, what's sad, too, is some of the actors are being wasted, because they would have been amazing. I would love to see them with something good. But
Carrie-Anne Moss is usually good. And again, I only watched the one episode just to see what the big deal was. The Korean guy was fantastic. I thought that the actress who played the witch mother, I thought she was actually really good, too. So they're
wasted. They're being wasted.
They're being wasted. Basically, if you're in a Disney project at this point, you're being wasted. So we're going to wrap this up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.